That's where you guys know me from. We have a question today. Are our young guys ready for post DeMar DeRozan and post LaMarcus Aldridge? And this question is brought to you by Mr. Simmons Jr. on Instagram. All right. So first, let me just throw it to you, Matt. Matt, what are your thoughts about our young guys? Are they able to step up, be playoff competitive if our two all-stars, former all-stars, are gone?
Yeah, this is something Spurs fans have been wanting to see a lot this year, and I think we'll see a lot more of next year, regardless of where DeMar and LaMarcus are in regards to our team. I think they have a great opportunity to step up. I think they will step up to the challenge. I'm excited for Lonnie's potential. I'm excited for DeJounte and Derek, obviously in the backcourt. I'm also very excited for Keldon and Luka and even Quindary. So the rookie trio from this year, I think, will have a big opportunity to step up. Who's going to step up and how much remains to be seen. I don't think they're really capable of carrying a team to the playoffs just yet. But, if you want to kind of build around them, then you kind of need to go through those growing pains at first. So I think, just letting them step up to the challenge and taking on the bigger roles and just seeing how they'll grow next year is going to be a big stepping point for this franchise.
Yeah, and seeing players step up and take the challenge is probably one of the more exciting things that we haven't been able to see for a long time because we've always just been so veteran heavy big three. Also, we don't really have a lot of youth, so it's exciting for us. Harrison, what do you think on our young guys being ready to take over post DeMar and LaMarcus?
Well, I'm kind of in a similar boat as Matt. We saw Murray to an extent at the beginning of the season. Of course, it wasn't really looked at because people were so intent on scrutinizing DeRozan and his slow start to the season. But Murray was averaging about 18, 8, and 6 to start the year. I mean, that's all-star numbers right there. So he's proven he can be effective when he's the guy facilitating. He's the guy running through the offense. We've seen what Derek White can do when the other all-stars aren't really producing at the highest level they can. Last season, I mean, he put up, 40 to 30-some in the playoffs. I mean, and that's as essentially a rookie. He didn't play the year before much. But to Matt's point, I don't think they're quite at the carrying level yet, but I do think they could be a playoff team. I don't think we need to be carried so much. You look at 2014, yeah, we did have the big three, but you had Tony, I guess he was an MVP candidate a few years prior, still a very good player, but not an all-star caliber. Manu getting old, not all-star caliber still. Duncan, very good still. And then you have a really young Kawhi Leonard who's a shell of what he is now. So we got through that championship by playing as a team, playing together. And I think if they were to bring in, one or two vets free agent-wise just to kind of mentor the young guys along with Patty Mills, I do think they're pretty capable of making at least a run until the young guys are ready to carry all that load.
Yeah, absolutely. And are these guys going to be able to get that type of reps in order to make that growth with these two guys here is like the biggest question I think that all of us have in our minds. So Destin, to round out this question, what is your thoughts on our young Bucks? They ready?
I mean, as far as are they ready? I mean, I don't even think LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan are really ready to do anything. And, they're veterans. I mean, as far as what they're ready to do, if you're saying lead us to the playoffs, I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge and DeRozan barely done that. So are they ready? I would much rather put my faith into Lonnie Walker, because he obviously has a clutch gene, and Keldon Johnson, which I think that he plays like a veteran at times. He's still, of course, extremely young, but he plays like a veteran. And then as far as Derek White, we know what Derek White can do. So, and we know that he plays like a veteran already. DeJounte Murray, I also think DeJounte Murray, by next season, he'll be on another level. So as far as are they ready, I think they're more ready than anything else we've had the last couple seasons. I mean, we have not looked that great at all. And the last time that we did look great was when we had Kawhi. And when he went down, we got swept. No one really stepped. I mean, especially LaMarcus Aldridge, he didn't step up at that point. So as far as, are they ready without these two guys? I mean, my question would be what what did we really have before that? So yeah, sure. I guess they're ready. So
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Okay. Well, I think that there's something that we need to keep in mind here, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, if we do make that transition to the younger players, we're gonna start seeing a very. I would expect that we would start seeing a very different style of basketball. I don't see us playing this inside out, mid range assassin style of play with our young guys if they're ready. When they are ready, I see a lot more 2014 move, drive, kick, pass. Penetrate and dish. Good to great. When is the last time we saw good to great in San Antonio? It's been a little while. But here's the question I want to ask you guys. And be honest. Is a season of growing pains with the young group, do you think that's going to be harder, just as hard as this season, or easier to endure as a Spurs fan than what we had to this year? Harrison, we'll throw it to you first.
It's tough because I can tell you right off from a lot of the stuff we've seen on our page, nobody was losing in any capacity. I mean, when we had our 67 win season, we lost 15 games, and people were still mad about those. But I'm going to go ahead and say a tad easier, because I think what's bugged people the most this season is we're losing, and they're wondering, where does it go from here? What happens? Are we going to stick with the same formula? Are we going to change it? But doing that, they can see a change that we're at least trying to make. They can see young guys progress throughout the season. We bring up Keldon Johnson. I think it's easiest if you're watching coach ball to look at Kentucky. There are a lot of freshmen that go to that program, and at the start of the year, they struggle. I mean, 2 years ago, they got absolutely annihilated by Duke in their first game. But by the end of the year, they're a championship contender. And I think San Antonio, maybe not as fast as Kentucky does it, but I do think if they get the young guys in there learning from actual NBA experience, people will notice measured improvement by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And looking back at that season, it won't be so tough as it was with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Matty, do you think a young Buck-led Spurs team can win 26 games? Oh, I think you're. Let me see. I think you're muted really quick. There you go.
We good?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think they're very capable of winning 26 games, and it's kind of just like Harrison said, and a lot of Spurs fans have, you see on social media after like every loss, it's like, why are we giving 15 plus 20 plus minutes to these veterans that have no place on this team in the future? Like Marco Bellinelli and Rudy Gay, then Marcus Aldridge getting 30 plus minutes, and then we got guys like Luka, Keldon, Lonnie. And then, even DeJounte and Derek only getting like 20 minutes just rotting on the bench. I mean, it makes no sense. Like, if we're going to lose, at least we can like lose with a purpose and get reps and minutes to the young guys. It's like Andy from the Office, and he's like, I think I'm going to fail upwards today. It's kind of like, it's kind of the same thing, same idea. And so, every time we lost a game and DeMar had like 20 something, LaMarcus had 20 something in 30 plus minutes, it just felt like a wasted game. It just felt like it was a complete waste of time. Like, we didn't gain anything out of it. So, if we do give the reins to the young Bucks next year, and they do kind of take up that leadership role, and we probably will lose a lot of games like this year. Will it be easier for Spurs fans? I think it won't be as fun, but I think it will be definitely easier on us saying kind of like, this is what we wanted. We wanted the young guys to take the wheel, and we wanted them to lead this team. So this is kind of a part of the process, and if that's what fans truly want, then I hope they're ready for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Simon Jr., I think that's the name of the guy who posted this comment. Just want to correct that really quick. Mr. Simon Jr., you've been a diehard since day one for Bucking Spurs. We appreciate you joining our mailbag and submitting your question. Spurs Nation, we always do this for you. So let's go ahead and move on to the next question. We're going to